Before we dive into today's story, if this is your first time watching one of our videos, we'd love for you to hit that subscribe button. Your support means the world to us and helps us bring you even more powerful stories. Stick with us till the very end. And if this story moves you, share your thoughts in the comments and send it to a friend who needs to hear it. Now, let's begin. The porcelain mug slipped from Anna Reed's trembling hands, crashing to the marble floor of the breaker's luxurious lobby. The sharp sound echoed through the vaulted space as hot coffee spread into a dark stain, creeping across the white stone like an accusation. The front desk clerk, a young man in a neat navy blazer, winced but kept his voice professional. "Miss Reed, I'm so sorry, but I cannot find your reservation." His words were clipped, nervous, as though he already sensed the drama unfolding. "I see bookings for your family members, but nothing under your name." Anna froze, staring at the spreading stain, her pulse drumming in her ears. She had worked 80-hour weeks, managed clinical trials, led research teams, and yet, in this moment, she felt reduced to a girl again, overlooked and dismissed by her own family. The sharp click of designer heels broke her trance. Victoria Reed, her sister, swept into view with a Hermes Birkin swinging casually at her wrist, every step rehearsed to demand attention. Her voice carried across the lobby with theatrical sweetness. "Oh, Anna finally made it." She tilted her head just enough so the chandelier lights caught the diamonds at her throat. Her lips curved into a triumphant smile as she stepped closer, lowering her tone only slightly so others would still overhear. "How strange there's no reservation for you." She gave a light laugh, cruel and deliberate. "Actually," Victoria continued, "I only made reservations for our real family. A suite for me, Daniel and Lily, and of course one for Mom and Dad." The words dripped like poison, rehearsed and precise, meant to slice. Around them, guests pretended not to listen, but their eyes betrayed curiosity. Through the ornate lobby mirrors, Anna saw her parents standing stiffly near the reception desk, their bodies angled away as if avoiding the scene. George Reed straightened his tie. Margaret busied herself with a brochure. Neither lifted a finger to intervene. Anna's throat tightened. The $3,200 theory dress she had saved for, believing it would help her blend into their world, now felt like a costume that exposed her as an outsider. Victoria's smirk widened, clearly expecting Anna to plead, to break down in tears. But instead, Anna inhaled slowly, grounding herself the way she had before every nerve-wracking presentation in the pharmaceutical labs. "I see," she said calmly, her voice level despite the storm in her chest. Adjusting the handle of her navy Rimowa suitcase, bought with her own money, not with her grandfather's, she gave the desk clerk a small, polite nod. "Then I'll leave." For a moment, silence swallowed the lobby. The only sound was Anna's measured footsteps as she turned toward the glass doors. Behind her, Victoria's voice rose in disbelief. "Wait, Anna." The sharpness in her tone betrayed panic, not concern. She had expected tears, a scene, anything that would reaffirm her power. Instead, Anna's calm retreat unraveled her script. "Don't walk away like that." Victoria called again, but Anna did not falter. Guests turned their heads, watching the woman in the expensive dress glide out with quiet dignity. At the entrance, Anna's gaze fell on little Lily. The 7-year-old shifted uneasily in her ruffled designer dress, her small fingers twisting the silk hem. Their eyes met for a fleeting second. Lily's lips parted as though she wanted to run forward, but Victoria's hand tightened around her shoulder. Anna exhaled and stepped through the revolving doors into the crisp Florida air. The taxi queue shimmered under the sun, cars idling as uniformed drivers leaned against polished hoods. Anna tapped her phone screen, pulling up a ride-hailing app. Her reflection in the glass door caught her eye, a woman who looked elegant, unbroken, and untouchable. Yet inside, her chest thudded with old wounds reopened. A familiar name rose in her thoughts, Charles Reed. Her grandfather, the man who had taught her that self-reliance was worth more than inheritance, that dignity was better armor than luxury. Without hesitation, she scrolled to his number and pressed call. Anna. His voice carried its usual composure, but beneath it was a sharp edge of concern. It's Thanksgiving. Why are you phoning now? You should be with the family. She swallowed hard, choosing her words like data points in a report. Grandfather, I have something to tell you. The reservation was made only for them. Victoria said I'm not part of the real family. Mom and Dad, they stood by. On the other end, Charles's breathing deepened. It was the only sign of anger from a man known for his iron control. I see, he said slowly, each word heavy with restrained fury. Go on. Anna described the scene plainly, without embellishment. The missing reservation, Victoria's triumphant tone, her parents' deliberate silence. No begging for sympathy, no dramatics. Just facts, the way she would present trial results at work. The line went quiet for a long stretch, until Charles finally spoke. I understand. I'll handle this from here. His voice, calm but dangerous, carried the weight of finality. Anna sat back in the taxi seat as it pulled away from the hotel. Outside, palm trees blurred past. She had expected humiliation. Instead, something sharper had been set in motion. By the time the taxi merged onto the coastal highway, Anna's phone buzzed violently in her palm. 10 missed calls in less than 15 minutes. Each voicemail from Victoria grew more frantic. The first was sharp with irritation. Anna, answer the phone. What did you say to grandfather? The next dripped with forced calm. Lily is upset. She wants to see you. Don't make this about yourself. By the fifth, her voice cracked into panic. You don't understand what you've done. Daniel and I can't cover everything on our own. Please just talk to him. Convince him to undo this. Anna stared at the screen, her lips pressed into a thin line. Victoria's carefully curated world, built on $30,000 monthly allowances and credit lines she didn't earn, was already beginning to fracture. Emails from her parents arrived next, each one colder than the last. George Reed's subject line read simply, Anna, stop this. Inside, his words carried the familiar edge of entitlement. We could have added another room, but as Victoria said, we prioritize the real family. You're independent now, aren't you? With your salary, it shouldn't be a big deal. Why are you being so emotional? Margaret's message followed almost immediately. Catherine has a husband and a child. You understand, right? Can't you just quietly put up with it for Thanksgiving? That's always been your problem, Anna. Thinking about yourself, never considering the family. Anna's chest tightened. She closed her eyes, not out of surprise but recognition. These were the same words, the same favoritism, the same wounds she had carried since childhood. As her flight lifted from Palm Beach, climbing through thick layers of cloud, a new message pinged into her inbox. This time, the sender line bore the name that mattered most, Charles Reed. The email was addressed to every family member. Anna's pulse quickened as she read his crisp, deliberate words. Today, on Thanksgiving, an incident occurred that severely damaged our family's dignity. The cruel treatment of Anna is an injury to the Reed name and cannot be tolerated. Effective immediately, I am freezing all financial support to George, Margaret, and Victoria. Let me remind you, your luxurious lifestyles are entirely dependent on my support. Those who drown in vanity and pretense no longer qualify for such privilege. By the time Anna reached the final sentence, her phone was vibrating again, this time with back-to-back calls from her mother. For the first time in years, their tone was not dismissive. It was desperate. Anna, please. Victoria's voice filled the latest voicemail, high-pitched and shaking. Daniel is furious. He says we can't keep the house without grandfather's support. Lily's school, what about her school? Do you want her to suffer because of this? Anna leaned her head against the airplane window, the vibration of the engines steadying her. For once, Victoria's words no longer pierced like arrows. They scattered harmlessly like leaves against steel. The truth was simple. Lily's future had never been endangered by Anna, but by the hollow life her mother had built on borrowed wealth. The messages kept pouring in. George's next email dropped its usual superiority and replaced it with pleading. Anna, this is about our retirement. The $150,000 deposit for our luxury condo is at risk. We'll lose the medical insurance subsidies. Can't you talk to him? Just this once. Margaret chimed in minutes later. I know I said hurtful things earlier. I didn't mean them. This is a family crisis, and you've always been the smart one. Please fix this. Anna's lips curved faintly. For years, her parents had ignored her achievements, while glorifying Victoria's frivolous milestones. Now, they came to her as though she were the only anchor they had left. In her Chicago apartment that night, Anna set her phone down on the counter. The screen flashed with one incoming call after another, each name familiar yet distant. She brewed a pot of tea, the warmth of the cup grounding her in a serenity she had earned herself. Outside, the city's skyline glittered, indifferent to the collapse of one family's illusion of grandeur. She remembered Charles's words from their last review session. Vanity is for others. Savings are for yourself. How those words had been wasted on her parents and sister, who had confused luxury with love. The next morning, her voicemail inbox overflowed. Victoria's tone swung wildly between anger and despair. Anna, how could you? He listens to you. Just tell him it was a misunderstanding. You've ruined everything. Then moments later, please, Anna, I can't breathe. The mortgage, the loans, the bills, I don't know what to do. Lily cried herself to sleep. Is that what you wanted? Daniel's voice appeared too deep and bitter. Your sister never told me about half these debts. The credit cards, the loans. I'm done cleaning up her mess. His words revealed what Victoria had hidden behind filtered photos and hashtags. Her dream life had been cracking long before Anna walked out of that lobby. Anna scrolled past the messages without replying. She slipped into her white lab coat, tied her hair back, and headed to work. At the pharmaceutical company, the world was steady. Her team congratulated her on the new research project she had been promoted to lead. In the lab, the data didn't lie, people didn't pretend, and results were earned. She moved between glass beakers and microscopes with a peace her family would never understand. Meanwhile, her parents' emails grew more raw. George admitted, "We spoiled Victoria too much. We ignored you. I'm ashamed now. We don't know how to live within our means. Please, talk to your grandfather." Margaret's messages were shorter, tinged with genuine regret for the first time. We can't pay our medical bills. I finally see how much we depended on money we didn't earn. Anna read them, but she did not reply. She wanted change, but not through her words, through their own reckoning. 2 weeks after Thanksgiving, snow fell softly over Chicago. Anna returned from work to find the city blanketed in white, quiet and serene. Her family's chaos had not touched her home. Victoria's once bustling Instagram lay dormant. The last photo, a carefully staged shot of her Birkin bag at a 5-star restaurant, was now riddled with ironic comments. Dream lifestyle, one follower wrote. Anna set her phone down with a sigh. She no longer needed their drama to define her peace. A call came late one evening. Daniel's voice carried defeat. Anna, I don't know if you care, but we're selling the house. Victoria hid debts from me I didn't know existed. Lily will be transferring to public school. She cries every night, but we can't keep pretending. Maybe it's better this way. His words lingered in the silence. Anna closed her eyes. It wasn't glee she felt, nor pity. Only clarity. Choices had consequences, and for once they were facing theirs. By January, her parents had moved into a modest condo, stripped of their Florida luxuries. Their emails grew shorter, less desperate, more resigned. George wrote, "We're adjusting. It's not easy, but we're learning." Margaret admitted, "We spoiled Victoria and hurt you. I don't know if you'll forgive us, but I see it now." Anna saved the messages but left them unanswered. True repentance was not in words, but in how they lived their days now. At work, Anna thrived. Her project advanced, her salary rose, and her savings grew. She attended investment study groups on weekends, building a future that was hers alone. In quiet moments, she thought of Charles's unwavering support. A pearl necklace arrived for her birthday, simple and elegant, with a handwritten card. True brilliance dwells in those who stand on their own feet. She touched the pearls at her neck, their cool weight a reminder of the path she had chosen. One afternoon, while sorting through old documents, Anna came across the small pearl hair clip she had bought for Lily. It was still wrapped untouched. She traced the edges of the packaging with her fingers, her heart heavy. "Not yet," she whispered. The gift was meant for the woman Lily might one day become, not the child molded by her mother's vanity. When Lily learned that value was not stitched into labels but carved from resilience, perhaps then the gift would find its rightful place. In March, as spring sunlight spilled across Chicago, Anna's phone buzzed with a text. It was from Victoria's number, but the words were unmistakably Lily's. "Aunt Anna, when can I see you again?" Anna stared at the screen for a long moment, her eyes stinging. She typed back a single word, "Soon." Setting her phone aside, she gazed out at the streets where the first buds of green pushed through winter's frost. It was not just a new season for the city. It was a new season for her family, fragile but real, and it had begun with her quiet refusal to break. The following weekend, Anna sat by her apartment window, sipping tea as snow melt dripped rhythmically from the eaves. Her phone buzzed again, this time with an email from Victoria. The subject line read, "For Lily." Anna hesitated before opening it. Inside, Victoria's words were stripped of her usual polish. "Lily misses you. She talks about the hair clips you used to bring her. She asked why you didn't come this year. I didn't know what to tell her. I know I've been cruel, but please, don't punish her for my mistakes." Anna read the lines twice, her expression unreadable. For the first time, her sister's words did not sound like performance, but exhaustion. Later that night, Daniel called. His tone was heavy, weary from the weight of unraveling debts and arguments that no longer had energy. "Anna, I'm not asking you to save us. That's over. But Lily needs someone steady. She looks up to you more than you realize. Victoria is trying, but she's still clinging to the life that's gone. Lily doesn't need more pretense. She needs truth." Anna closed her eyes, imagining her niece's small hands twisting nervously in her dress that Thanksgiving afternoon. She whispered more to herself than to him, "I won't let her become what broke you." At the lab the next morning, Anna found herself distracted, her focus splintered by memories of Lily's laughter and past holidays, her eagerness to unwrap small gifts that held no designer label but meant everything. One of her colleagues, noticing her stillness, asked gently, "Everything all right, Anna?" She managed a smile, just thinking about family. The word felt complicated in her mouth, full of wounds and hope at once. She buried herself back in work, but in the quiet spaces of her mind, Lily's question echoed, "When can I see you again?" That evening, Anna picked up the phone and dialed a familiar number. The call connected after 2 rings. "Grandfather," she said softly. Charles's voice, steady as ever, warmed on hearing her. "Anna, you sound different." She exhaled. "I've been thinking about Lily. She's just a child. She doesn't deserve to carry the weight of her parents' choices." Silence stretched on the line before Charles replied. "Compassion and boundaries must walk together. You are right not to shield the guilty from consequence. But the innocent, yes, they deserve your presence." His words settled like stone, anchoring her decision. The following Sunday, Anna boarded a train bound for the suburb where Victoria's family now lived in a modest rental. Snow still clung to the ground, but the sky glowed with pale hints of spring. She carried a small gift bag in her lap, the pearl hair clip finally unwrapped from its box. Her heart was steady, her choice clear. This was not about rescuing her sister, nor about easing her parents' regrets. This was about Lily, the child who still searched for her aunt in a crowd. When the train slowed to a stop, Anna rose, clutching the bag, ready to step into a new chapter where the cycle of vanity might finally be broken by something quieter, stronger, and real. Like and subscribe to my channel for more contents like this, and let us know where you are watching from under the comment section.